Hello. Badger is trying to make himself small. He thinks that if he curls up on the chair like that, I won't notice he's there. It didn't work. It's a little bit like Ed Miliband trying to roll through stupid announcements like we're going to give you money off your electricity and your energy bills without us noticing that the reason that we're paying more money for our electricity and energy bills is because of net zero. How? How did we get to 2025? There's quite a lot of clever people in the world, aren't there? We've come a long way. I mean, we've got AI that will, wipe your bottom and pick your nose for you if you want to. We're doing some really amazing things in the world, yet Ed Miliband is still doing net zero and we're not challenging him. We're not going, we are. He's not listening, is he? That's why, because people don't listen anymore. Oh, please like, subscribe and share. One day I'll remember to do that at the right time. So I've read that Ed is giving, here we go, 6 million will receive £150 off their bills. For a start, I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but really, don't bother. Just literally don't bother. Obviously do bother. Every little helps and all that. But for the average family, £650 off their bills when their bills are going up at astronomical rates, that's like 2 weeks of heating the house in the winter. It's off the charts. It's insulting. And how have we got to the bit where he has... Oh, that's hilarious. That's EDF texting me. How have we got to the bit where he hasn't noticed that the bills are going through the roof because of what he's doing? I mean, how are we not there? So we're not drilling in the North Sea anymore. We're not allowed to do that anymore. No more drilling. We're going to pay people that will drill in other parts of the world. They're drilling more and more and more to keep up with demand, and we're paying them for our energy that we are then importing into our country, that we have got at our disposal, but we're paying other people to do it, thus creating a bigger carbon footprint and putting up our energy bills. We're cutting down forests so that we can plant solar panels, which are being imported from China. I mean, it's laughable. It feels like Jeremy Beadle's going to pop out in a minute and go, you've been framed. Oh no, it wasn't that one, was it? That was the TV. Well, you know what I mean. It feels like somebody is going to turn around. Ant and Dec are sort of sitting behind the parliamentary cameras. And when we hear Sir Lindsay Hoyle speak, it's not really him. It's Ant and Dec telling him what to say. When Ed Miliband says stuff, it's really not Ed Miliband. It's like somebody who's missing part of a frontal lobe saying, let's talk about net zero. Let's pretend to everybody that this is a really good climate initiative while absolutely killing humans and the country. So we're supposed to celebrate this £150 for up to 6 million families. Are we ignoring then the pensioners, like the 10 million pensioners that had their winter fuel allowance taken off them? So are we going, we can heat families because they're families, but we can't heat pensioners because they're pensioners. So we'll take it from them and we'll give less of it to them. I mean, there's nothing in that sentence, is there, that makes any sense? We'll stop drilling our own natural resources, but we'll go and get someone else's own natural resources, which they will obviously deplete because they're having to drill more and more and more and more to keep up with our demand, because funnily enough, we need it. And we're going to pay more for it, and we're going to import it, which is going to have a bigger carbon footprint than it would have done if we'd done it by ourselves. And thousands of people are going to lose their jobs because the North Sea industry is going kaput. And thousands of people are losing their jobs because businesses can't keep up with energy demands. But it's net zero, guys. Yay! Vote net zero. I mean, it's just, I can't read. I can't read some of the stuff that I've written down here because it's actually not nice words. But I'm at that bit where I'm flabbergasted, which is a word, as we know, Tom Daley doesn't like. When Kate Garraway said on Traitors that she was flabbergasted, he said she must be a traitor because she used that word. No. She's just got a good grasp of the English language. But I am flabbergasted that we still have these conversations. This is even a thing. Somebody stop him. How do we stop him? How do we make this go away? Now, I know Reform are saying we're going to get rid of net zero. I think the Conservatives are saying we're going to get rid of net zero. Obviously, the Greens are not. And the Lib Dems, I'm not really sure where they stand on it. I'm not really sure where they stand on much. But somebody somewhere has to get rid of this, because this can't be a thing. This makes no logical sense. And I work in logic. I work in things that make sense. So in our house at the minute, we have, I told you the Vortex heater's brilliant, love them, but they're 34p an hour, to run. So I've said to the kids, well, we don't need them now. It's not that cold now. Put more jumpers on, put your gilet on, as you saw earlier. I have my scarf and my hat on. Layer up, guys. But you can have an hour when the temperatures get to 0. And they're looking at me like I'm gone out. And I'm looking at me like I'm gone out, because I'm thinking it's 2025. Cars are created with big screens in the middle where you can play solitaire. I don't like them. I think it's stupid, but they are. Phones recognise our face, our eyelashes, and our inside leg measurement. Yet we've gone back in time. Don't flick that switch. Don't flick that light switch. Don't turn the heating on. Do not use the gas. And now we can't even light fires. I mean, the wood burner, which I adore, for several reasons. One, because it feels like, when you have a fire in the house, it feels like a heartbeat. My mother-in-law says that, but I'm with her. It feels like company. It's a living thing. And I love the soporific effect of sitting in front of the fire or sitting in front of the log burner. And it's just nice. It's one of the few pleasures that, we did have until we're now not supposed to be doing that, because that'll kill you. Despite the fact that for centuries, as I said earlier, people have been warming themselves by fire. We're not allowed to do that anymore, because that's going to kill you. It's going to give you asthma. It's going to put particles of nastiness in your lungs, and you will die because you've had a wood burner. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but that's what they're telling us. So we've got to heat our houses from heat source pumps, which are going to be in favour for about 15 minutes until they're not in favour. Gas boilers, oh no, you may not have one of those. Oil boilers, where are they on with that? I don't know. You see, oil boilers, which a lot of which are made by Bolter. No family relation, but I do quite like that. But oil boilers will last you forever. Oil boilers are a bit like cockroaches. They are the last thing that will die in a nuclear war. Although my son was telling me that was an octopus as well, or is it a starfish? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But we used to have an oil boiler in the old house because we weren't on gas. So our oil boiler, I reckon, was first created in sort of 1900 dot, and you just put new parts in, but it still works. But we can't do that anymore. We've got to build heat source pumps and air source pumps and, hot air gas fart pumps, that type of thing. We've got to do that so that we can heat our houses in a different way. But you can't do that if you live in an old house, because you're not allowed to do it. So if you live in a listed building, you're not allowed to do any of that. You're not allowed to insulate your house. You're not allowed to have double glazing on your house. You're not allowed to have secondary glazing on your house. You may not touch your house. Well, in certain areas. Mine is one of the stupid ones where you literally can't breathe on a brick. Stone. But so you can't do that. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And then you get grants to do them in other areas of the country, like we'll just pay for the whole thing. But it's not really a grant, is it? Because somebody's paying for it somewhere. It's a bit like free breakfast, which we know aren't free. So it's this whole cycle of we'll give you a grant, we'll subsidise it. Yeah, they're not. Someone else is paying more for it, which will come onto your bills, which will mean that you will pay for it more. So I'm now happily subsidising and funding somebody living in a really warm, snug 4-bedroom house while we literally freeze our little bits off in our old house. But we like our old house, and when it's really windy, I'm grateful for our old house, because my massive, great big stone brick things don't blow over. So, swings and roundabouts, yin and yang and all of that. But we are all told we've got to be more energy efficient. We've got to look after our energy, yet the government are importing our energy from China. How is that efficient? It's not, is it? I mean, it's just not. And yet Ed Miliband says, some of you lucky people, you can have £150 off your energy bill. Well, hey, whoa, don't spend it all at once, folks. I mean, literally, that'll have the light on for an extra, 4 minutes a day for the winter. He's celebrating that, whilst we're paying more, 4 times more. We've got the highest energy prices in the world. I mean, I'll tell you who makes me laugh on this. Donald Trump, when he talks about wind turbines, he calls them windmills. I think it's quite funny. It's quite cute. But we have got the most expensive energy in the world. Businesses are going bust because they can't afford to pay their energy bills. Houses, like my house, are not putting the heating on. Well, I mean, I don't know that this is the thing. You get to the bit where you're like, it doesn't matter whether you've got a heat source, air source, fart source, whatever kind of pump. None of us can afford to put them on. I mean, Even if we've got them, don't put the heating on. Do not heat yourself. Do not put a match to that log burner. That is not a bad thing. That is a bad thing. So it's kind of pointless anyway. And yet it's 2025. And we're supposed to be progressive. I mean, we're going progressively down the pan. There's no two ways about that. But, yeah, no, I'm not feeling it. I feel like Badger's got the right idea. Curl up, pretend you're small so that nobody notices you, and don't leave the chair. Don't expend energy, don't do anything. Just sit and freeze. Maybe we'll all start growing fur coats again. I mean, I don't shave my legs in the winter at all. Keeps me a little bit warmer. That's the thought, isn't it?